We are part of the Fired Up Sports Network of shows. Please check out other Fired Up Sports Network podcasts like the P-Lot Pod, Water Cooler Talk, Bell Smashers, Philly Sports Love and Pain, Drunk on Broad, Beer Battered Sports, and the Fired Up Sports Show, which are available on all major podcasting hosting sites and social media. Also, check out Mark Ramos' Roundup on firedupsports.com, which breaks down the happenings going on with all your favorite local teams.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
E-A-T-L-E-S, Eagles!
Swing of the miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup. For the lead. Yes! Iverson, wow, what a fake off Daniels as he broke his ankles and got all the way to the cup.
Well, welcome in.
Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
How you doing? How you doing?
It's a busy sports night, but we're in here talking all sorts of bird stuff tonight because,
Someone's got to
what
do
else
it.
are you going to do? Someone's got to do
Someone's
it, right? The off season approaches, right? We're going to talk a little draft tonight, Rich. We have a little smorgasbord of things tonight, so we'll get some drafts.
We
Some drafts
got to
left
drop
in.
the bomb. We got to drop the bomb on everybody because I know everybody probably slept through the Schefter alert. I mean, I know I was surprised, but the Eagles did sign C.J. Uzama yesterday. I don't know if anybody got the alert.
Listen, we'll break that all
big.
down.
It was pretty big. Huge signing.
Definitely.
The Eagles aren't drafting Brock Bowers. That's all right, guys. We got the second coming. We got CJ Uzama. We're good.
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
Listen, we'll
Jeez.
talk a little draft tonight. We'll talk a little Fletcher Cox combo.
CJ Uzama. Oh,
We'll
my
talk
God.
a little bit of Brazil.
But
Where
I
do you
still,
want to start?
man,
you-
Don. I'll start wherever you want to start, buddy. Let's just dive right in.
All right, let's go Brazil first.
Let's go Brazil.
Let's get that out of the way because that's pretty much factual at this point, right?
Yeah.
The news comes out late in the week that they're going to face the Packers in Brazil Friday
Ooh.
night. So, for what are your first thoughts about that matchup? It's an appetizing matchup for the Eagles, considering they're going to face another young up and coming quarterback. They're going to a team that's coming off a solid playoff run where they were able to shock a couple teams. They go into Dallas and win there. They're competitive in the second round of the playoffs, but like it's a good up and coming team. They make a couple of splash signings, right? They got
Josh Jacobs.
The backfield is stacked. So what are your initial thoughts about facing the Packers on that Friday night in Brazil?
Oh man, my initial thoughts are why the fuck are we playing a game in Brazil on a Friday night? To be completely honest with you, there's many things I'd rather do on a Friday than watch the Eagles play in fucking Brazil. And I'm pretty sure the Eagles are thinking the same thing. I like the Packers. I do. They showed a hint of, some testicular fortitude last year. They weren't a team that was expected to do anything. Jordan Love was up and down all season, but then came together and found it when in the playoffs when it mattered. I like Jordan Love. I think it was nice to see his progression as a leader and as a player. And then it's going to be pretty cool to get to watch them on opening day against our Birds. I would like to say the matchup is more favorable toward the Birds, which I still believe that every single matchup going in, the Birds do have the advantage, and it's just on the up and up for them. But the Packers aren't a team that I would sleep on. Jordan Love can make things happen in the pocket, and if our pass rush doesn't get home, I could expect a long day for it. But again, why the fuck are we playing in Brazil on a Friday?
Well,
That's
we know that that's a money grab from the NFL, right?
but it's also a home game for us.
Yeah. So
It's also a
luckily,
home game
Rich,
for the Eagles, which I
you're gonna
don't
play-
fucking like.
you're still going to play 8 home games. So you are losing that essentially that 17th week of
Yeah.
the season for the home game. So, but you're right. I don't love I would love it, but much more if it was considered an away game.
Yeah.
But
Football
you know,
is getting so egregious now with every single fucking day that they want to play. Like they want football to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like you just want Tuesday, Wednesday off. Like it doesn't make any sense, especially for the sport. It's becoming nonsensical at this time. And
it does become kind of like overload. And I know they're going to play again on Christmas Day.
Yeah,
like they've got the whole slate of Christmas Day games that they're going to play
fucking
again.
Wednesday.
It don't matter.
Christmas
Rich.
is on a Wednesday. How can you pull this off? Like
They saw those numbers.
But how can you pull it off? That's my whole thing is Christmas is on Wednesday. I could see if it was on Thursday. So are teams going to have buys? Like, is it going to be the teams who are on buys on whatever that week is, and they're going to play on Wednesday? Because I'd be really fucking pissed if I'm scheduled at 4:05 on Sunday, and then I'm playing Christmas Day. Like that's fucking.
Got it. Like to me, you have to. You're going to have to be really creative with the schedule for that Christmas Day scenario. Whoever's playing there is, hopefully it really is dangerous considering the only way that it works is if like the week before, like you do a double header where 2 of the 4 teams are playing on like a Thursday night double header.
You get 2 days off. You essentially get 2 days off. If you're playing on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then you're playing Wednesday, your body cannot recover from that. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, it's getting so – it's just nonsensical with the amount of football that they want to push. And the fact that you're going to throw games on fucking Christmas on a Wednesday, and then you're still playing Thursday because you still have Thursday night football, and then the NFL is pushing for Friday – to have games on Friday. Amazon wants to have a Friday night game.
They want to have the Black Friday game. You know they're going to do that because they had really good numbers on that Friday.
Yeah, of course.
It's coming.
Football is going to be all fucking week long. Watch. Everybody's going to have a hand in it, and then it's just going to be insane. These schedules are going to be so fucked up.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know how you do it safely.
You can't. But they don't give a fuck. The NFL has proven time and time again that they give 0 fucks about player safety.
Oh, 100%. And the thing that I think about, Rich, is like moving forward. How do you look ahead at the schedule and say we're going to do this in the name of player safety, but then also backload the schedule? The only thing that I think the other thing that I think is coming is I think there's going to be a second bye added to the schedule at some point.
There has to be.
You're not going to be. You're going to have to add an 18th week and spread those 17 games or 16. You're going to have to spread them out, and you're going to have to give teams 2 byes with the amount of international games that they're playing, right? Because they're going to play they play 4 or 5 games in England.
Yeah,
I'm sure they've got a game scheduled for Mexico City.
Germany.
Germany. They're going to
have a Germany game, and now we're going to have a Brazil game that we're adding. Like, we're next. We're going to fucking play China.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, listen, they've played preseason games in Tokyo. They've done it. It wouldn't.
I'm waiting for the Australian game, the game where we have to fucking go to Australia.
Oh God,
that's coming next. That's going to be a nice 28 hour.
Jordan Mailata home game.
The Jordan Mailata home game. Yeah, it's so much. If they don't add a second, they have to add a second bye.
They're going to have to.
It blows my mind thinking about it, and you have to give like half the league off on like week 7 and then off again on week 14. That's just going to have to do. It's like, it'll be 8 and 15 and 7 and 14 where half the league is just off in those times, just so these guys can recover. And it's only a week. Like, that's the fucking crazy part. It's a week bye. these. It's almost the same. I know I'm just jumping off target or like off things, but it's the same thing with baseball now. Baseball, since it's so fucking early, dude. Spencer Strider,
Yeah.
Frambler, Valdez, whatever his name is. Who else we got? Who else they shut down? Another big name pitcher just got shut down. Oh, Bieber.
Oh, Shane Bieber.
Yeah, dude, 3 guys. Tommy John.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidence? Or is it because we're starting fucking early, our arms aren't ready for it, and like it's another product that is just going to be so fucking watered down. And let's be real, baseball is run by the biggest idiot. Did you see that Shohei Ohtani shit?
Yeah.
I like it. We're just jumping over. But did you see that fucking shit?
It's wild, man.
$140 million. $180 million losses. How are you going to sit there and tell me that you didn't know this was going on?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
You're right. Like, listen, I know you're making a shit ton of money, but when that kind of money is just like when that is the kind of money that you're losing and you don't even notice, like, come on now. And I'm sure he's probably got money coming in from every fucking direction, but like,
come on.
But you know nothing's going to happen to him. You know that fucking dude is going to take the fucking fall.
He's $250,000 bond he's out on right now.
Yeah. But like, you know that he's going to take it all because there's no way Ohtani takes
$40 million net losses. Net losses of $40 million. And Ohtani said, he stole, what did he say? He stole only like $4 million from him. So where the fuck is he getting all the rest of this money? What's up, Chris? Oh my God. Some shit just blows my mind. It's so funny. Sorry, guys.
It really is.
Back to football. Go ahead, Don. Keep the train on track, Don. Keep the train on track. Listen,
yeah. So let's, in terms of where the Packers are right now, obviously right now we're talking pre-draft, the height of free agency has kind of died down. You're seeing, drips and drabs of stuff coming in. But the way that the Packers depth chart looks, right, they're young and they're talented, right? You're going to look at a backfield of a combination of Josh Jacobs and AJ Dillon.
2 dudes.
Right? Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed are impressive. You're going to have, Luke Musgrave was a good tight end option for them. You've got really good options, for Jordan Love. And Jordan Love did a great job, especially towards the end of the season, basically playing point guard.
Yeah.
Just not making a ton of mistakes, not, reaching a little bit, kind of working within the system. I really like what I saw. And I think, it's a team, Rich. I think that you hit the nail on the head in saying that they're sneaky good. They're a team that I definitely wouldn't sleep on.
No, they're a team that deserves some respect. I mean, you saw Jordan Love can win a big game. Dak Prescott can't. So like you see this, like, I mean, the resume for Jordan's there. I mean, he had a great year. He won a playoff game. He should have beat the fucking 49ers, which is absolutely crazy, but they should have won that game. It's not a team I'm going to sleep on. And I feel like they only got a little bit better. Jaden Reed, it's going to be his second year. Romeo Doubs played well. Christian Watson, when he's healthy, decent.
Yep.
I mean, their wide receivers are young, but they're good. Bakhtiari leaving and retiring, that hurts a little bit, but that guy really never played that much. He was always in and out hurt. They address offensive line. Their defense was sneaky good toward the end of the last season in the playoffs. If they address that offensive line, I think.
Right, they add Xavier McKinney on the back end, which is they're going to add him to a defensive backfield with Jair Alexander.
Is Darnell Savage still back there too? Or is he gone?
Not on their depth chart, no.
All right, then he's gone. But he wasn't a bad safety for him. I think he was on last year.
I mean,
it's not a team I'm going to sleep on.
No, but when I look at where the Eagles' offense is, that to me, Rich, you've built an offense at this point that week to week should be able to put up, 24, 28 points.
Yeah.
Going away.
They should be like, fuck you, stop me. That should just be
right.
the all. And I don't understand the poo-pooing. I've heard Russell's of poo-pooing on Kellen Moore. There's no fucking way he's worse than Brian Johnson. But I'm still here.
At the very least, you're going to get a guy who has called games, who has a ton of experience, and has a track record of getting guys open in space.
Yeah.
So I think that there's going to be a tremendous emphasis, obviously, with the offseason move of adding Saquon Barkley, that there's going to be an emphasis on running the ball. There's going to be an emphasis to get him involved, especially in the pass game, to get him involved with that offensive line, get those guys out in space, because the offensive line with the retirement of Jason Kelce, the moving of Cam Jurgens. I know there's a lot, and we'll talk draft guys in a little bit. You know that they're going to add offensive line depth because they did lose 1,000%. Offensive line depth in free agency.
Yep.
So, but when you talk about what this offensive weapon, the array of offensive weapons that they have,
it's a smorgasbord of fuck around and find out. Don, let's be real.
I mean, listen,
smorgasbord of fuck around and find out.
In a year where you had Brian Johnson basically fumbling over the pages in the playbook, they still started 10-1. Like they were fucking around and still started the year 10-1.
What was the stat on the bubble screens? Like 500
oh
or something?
God, it was like
200 and negative 14 yards or some shit.
Oh God. Yeah, it was something fucking catastrophic. Nuts. It was bad. but it really is that I think that to me is like the really, really exciting part that I'm looking forward to with this offense is to see how creative they can be, right? With a guy that has the track record and has the experience. That to me, I think is where that's where it went sideways. I think they thought that they were going to get cohesion from Brian Johnson because he was on the staff, had the relationship with Jalen Hurts. And turns out that he got in way over his head and wasn't fully prepared to be able to call plays with the intensity of the situation. When you look at that roster that they had last year, if you hired guys on both coordinator ends that had the ability to be able to call those plays.
Don, do not give them that much credit. They could have hired you or me, and we would have done a better job. Don't give them too much credit. They didn't. Well, they just needed not incompetent people in those positions and somebody just fucking yesing Howie to death. Like, they could have been like, hey, Rich, you want to come like the offensive coordinator? I would print out my Madden playbook. I would show it to the guys, and we would run it. And Don, you would just be like, all right, let's go cover 3. Let's just go cover 3. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, seriously.
I have good. Wow. I have good expectations for this year. I think Kellen Moore is going to be fine. And when you mean creative, like you mean getting guys open and scheming them open, running different routes in the route tree. We're not talking fucking trick plays. We're talking an NFL caliber offense opposed to the Pop Warner offense that you saw last year.
Correct. I'm talking about like getting guys in space. I'm talking about like route trees and like I'm not talking about the flea flicker back to Jalen Hurts to throw it deep to Devontae Smith. I'm here for it, but that's going to come after running Saquon Barkley, you know, 27 times down your throat to the point where he turns around, flips it to Jalen Hurts, and he throws it 65 yards to A.J. Brown.
What about A.J. Brown up the seam? Like, just nice little seam up the middle, dude. Like, I would love to see that.
This is where, Rich, this is where you're going to see the optionality really, really come into play, right? Because now you're looking at, you know, when you look at the wide receiver room compared to last year, right? You're talking about A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Devontae Parker, Paris Campbell is your fourth option, and he's a professional, so you're going to have him in that room too. it's a really good room to have, right? And I think that when we were kind of joking about CJ Uzama, he at the same time he's a professional.
He's a pro. He's a pro.
So you're
He's
getting
not a
guy
needle mover, but he's a pro. He knows what he's doing.
Right.
He knows his job, and he can get it done.
Yeah. So when we talk about the depth at offensive line, right, you're talking about you've still got that line attack with Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Lane Johnson. Tyler Steen is in the depth chart to start, but it wouldn't surprise me if this is a place where they go in and draft somebody in the first, second. One of those first 3 picks, right? You're going to have 3 picks in the top 53.
Yeah.
So, it should be an exciting thing to see. There are a lot of holes on offense or on defense, though. There's a lot of not holes, but like question marks. Guys that got to prove themselves. And you're talking about replacing a lot of veteran experience. You're talking about the 2 big guys that you're trying to replace in Kelsey and Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox makes it official. Curious to see what your thoughts, though, Rich, on Fletcher Cox. Is he a guy that you think where does he rank in the last 20 years? Is he top 10 in the last 20 years? Is he top 20
in the past
for the Eagles
since the 2000s? So wow, man,
doesn't
that sound so fucked? Like you're like, oh, the past 20 years. I'm like, since the 2000s. I mean, he's from the 2000s. He is a top 5 probably defensive lineman of the Eagles.
Oh, defensive lineman, yes. Oh, yeah. like whole roster though. Is he top 10?
Yeah, because there's not many guys that I can put above him. Not at this point. You know what I'm saying? Since like 2000, like now there's not many guys I can put like above him, either accolade wise or just production on the field wise. So yeah, I would give him. He's probably top 5. I'm not even gonna lie. He's probably top 5.
Okay, you want to? So like. Obviously,
I'm trying to think in my head, like, and that's
right,
the hard part. Like, I don't know who I'm putting over.
Okay, so like,
Malcolm Jenkins,
so like obviously Doc.
Oh, Dawkins. Okay, yeah, Brian Dawkins, Westbrook, McNabb, T.O., D'Amico Ryans. I'm throwing him in there because D'Amico Ryans is a
Kelsey.
Fucking beast. Vito and Sheldon Brown. Asante, Trotter, Trot. So that's 10. All right, maybe he's more top. Yeah, maybe he's more top 15. Yeah, maybe he's more top 15. Because then you got to go D-Jack. But here's the hard part. Like, here's the bias of it. We're going. I think we have a lot of bias of it because we miss these guys and miss seeing them, and we haven't had that. We're going to miss Fletcher yet, and I think Fletcher, to be completely honest with you, is probably more important than a few of those guys that we listed in the top 10.
Okay.
Like I'm saying for like even roster makeup and for team. Do I think D-Jack's? Yeah, he's an offensive player. He could change the game in many ways. So he's going to be higher than Fletcher Cox. But Westbrook he's really good. But Fletcher Cox is like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to evaluate the position. But I'm going to say he's up there. He's up there.
Okay,
we'll have to do that. Do that one day.
Would you put Nick Foles? Would you put Nick Foles above him?
Oh, fuck, man, I don't.
I just pulled up our all-time Eagles list. Remember the all-time team that we picked?
Oh yeah, you're right. Is Fletcher Cox on there?
Oh yeah.
All right, good. All right. Am I putting Nick Foles? I don't want to put Nick Foles in my. He won us the Super Bowl. He's got to be top 5.
Right.
I don't want to put him in there, but he has to be. That's
Right?
default. That's default. He outslung Tom Brady. Big Dick Nick did it again. Ah, Jesus.
Right. Trey Thomas.
Troy, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
I'm gonna when you say when you look at it, you're like, oh, is he like top 10, top 20? Like, and then you start you're like, oh my God, like he played his whole career, right? Plays his whole career here, is is a guy who was not just competitive, but played his best ball all the way up until he retired.
Yeah.
Played 12 seasons. Like,
and this is the problem. Why it's so hard. If we have this conversation next year, I guarantee it differs. I guarantee we'll have Fletcher Cox higher because we'll be like, damn, he was super disruptive. Damn, he would get after the quarterback. Damn, he would take 3 guys on and still get a pressure. Like, if we had this conversation next year at the same time, it's going to be so much different because we haven't been able to miss him yet like we missed the other guys.
Right.
What's up, Chris? How you doing, buddy? What are you sipping on, Don? Anything good?
No, it's just a seltzer.
Oh, nice.
Just a seltzer, nothing crazy.
No, good. I got some unsweetened iced tea. It's delicious.
No, but I think at some point, Rich, that might be something cool to kind of knock around over the summer because you know you look at those guys and when you and it is kind of wild to be like, yeah, let's look at the guys from the 2000s, and you're like, wait, that's the last 24 years. Man, I feel fucking old as hell.
I know. Right? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't
want to do it. Yeah, but like when I'm looking at these guys, right? Because there's and we barely even we barely touched about there's so many other guys like LaShawn McCoy, right? Probably one of the right Shady's got to be on that list. Westbrook's got to be on that list. Who am I looking at? Obviously Lane Johnson is in that.
We throw Namdi on the list.
Well, shit. If you're gonna throw him on there, you might.
Him and DRC, put them both on. Put them both on.
Oh God, you got to put
that was Vince Young. Throw Vince Young on there too. Jesus Christ.
Some Vince Young. Good God. Holy shit.
Oh man, those days make me sick.
But yeah, but great for him that he went out on his own terms. And that he was to see him, they pull him out for he threw out one of the first pitch on the second Eagles or the second Phillies home game. Him and Kelsey do it together. Just great to see a guy, and that's that's a jersey that will be eternal. It'll always hold value in the city.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, I mean, Fletcher Cox, thank you for all you've done. I think you went underappreciated for a bunch of years, and if these young guys don't do it, then we're really going to be like, fuck, we do miss Fletch. Because I remember I was a proponent on not bringing you back. And Jesus Christ, you fucking were a monster last year. So, you were real good last year, Fletch. So thank you. If you don't come back, it's all right. Hopefully Jalen Carter.
Yeah, you're going to need somebody, especially on defense. You're going to need guys to step up in terms of that and fill that leadership role. Because when you look, when I'm going through the depth chart, when I look at the 3-4, the way they got it organized, there's a lot of young guys. And you're going to need somebody to step up in terms of, being that vet leader, because right now you're looking at a defensive line that's going to consist of, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, and Jalen Carter, right? All young guys. And then the backup, right? And again, this is pre-draft, so I'm sure this is something they're going to address. But like you're looking at Brandon Graham, who's on his, victory tour.
Yeah.
And you got Marlon Tui Pelotu.
Yep.
So, this might be a good place to transition to start talking when we talk about, draft picks about guys that they could address, because we know that they love to build, in the trenches. But you're looking at a linebacking core: Bryce Huff, N'Kobe Dean, Devin White, Nolan Smith. You got Orion Burks. You got Josh Sweat is going to be on the edge. You're going to need somebody. The guy that is there a guy that you're looking at on defense to kind of step up for that leadership role? Because I got a guy in mind.
Well, CJGJ is my leader.
There he is.
But I mean, he's the accountability king. So he'll get into the, like we talked about it last week. We wish that he was fucking here when the team was spiraling because of how whatchamacallit, Byard just did whatever the fuck Byard wanted to do, and how Slay made his business decisions, and how Blankenship was leading the team in tackles, and that's fucking insane. You would have seen him getting in some players' asses last year. But he's definitely the guy. But we need somebody at linebacker to step the fuck up and be a leader too. It's been a while since we had like a Jeremiah Trotter. Maybe there's a Trotter 2.0 coming to us. But it's been a while since we had like that presence with Trotter or D'Amico Ryans, or a thumping linebacker who can play the game and also be a leader. So it would be nice to see. Maybe we draft one, or maybe it's someone that we aren't expecting to step up and emerge as a leader. But I would like to see it. I would like to see it.
All right, so let's transition into the draft, Rich. When you look at where this team drafts, it's in the trenches and on the outside. And I got to imagine with the depth that they have, and when I say have, it's more not have, the idea that they go in the trenches to be able to secure those first three picks.
Yeah.
Where do you look in that first round that they should address first?
I mean, what I want them to address, what they won't address is linebacker. So that's going to be out. It's going to be a defensive tackle or a defensive end. It's going to be, I guarantee, most likely some sort of speed rusher from the edge. I think it's going to be an edge guy. And if not, it's going to be some brawler of an offensive lineman. And then, here's how I see the first three picks going down: offensive line or defensive line, offensive line or defensive line, offensive line or defensive line, and then linebacker, because they don't value it. So I could see it could be like a D tackle, an edge, and then an O-line, or any three in those orders. But I would be extremely surprised if we seen corner, linebacker, safety. I would be surprised if we saw any of those. So it's most likely going to be, like you said, one of those big boys in the trenches, or I'm thinking it's going to be rush, because we're going to have to replace the pass rush. So,
so there's a couple of guys that I've seen. The guys, I'm trying to keep track of the guys that have made the top 30 visits, right? So you've got Troy Fontenot, who's the offensive tackle, who could swing inside and play, kind of do the same thing that Cam Jurgens did, in terms of draft him to play guard this year.
Okay.
And then swing out to tackle when Lane retires. He's a kid that's coming out of Washington, but when you talk about athleticism, just a huge kid that is able to kind of get in people's way. The other kid that's getting a lot of talk is Cooper Beebe, the big fat. Just a big fat white guy from Kansas State.
Ah, okay, yeah, Kansas. Yeah, Kansas. Yeah,
I'm gonna pull this up just to give you a little visual.
Yeah, I mean those big cornbread motherfuckers. So.
Right. So this is the kid from.
Let me guess, he plays offensive line.
Right. So he plays offensive line. Right.
There he is.
The other kid that I'm talking about is Cooper Beebe.
There he is.
Just a big giant road grader guy that is and
high motor guy. He's got a high motor.
Right. All the Rich, all the buzzwords, right?
All the lingo.
When you talk about a guy that can play guard and tackle, right? A kid that's going to come in at 6'3", 322, right? Just come in and just be that same body type of Cam Jurgens, right? But with the ability to be, kind of flexed out. Those are the two guys that if I'm looking in that first round, those are two guys that I would target in those in that mid-20s area. But when you talk about pass rushers, right, there's a couple of guys, right? The kid coming out of UCLA, and I'm going to butcher his name. I don't know.
Scroll up. I can't see it. Scroll up. The drunk. There we go. Oh, wow.
There we go. Right.
Latu. That's a cool name.
Right. But
he's from
but a guy who's going to have a lot of speed off the edge, right? A guy who's going to be a guy that can get in space and make an impact. Again, a kid coming out of the West Coast that could be what you would want out of a professional pass rusher.
Okay.
The kid that hits a little bit more closer to home.
Yeah, Chop.
Right. Chop.
Talk
about Chop and what that could be, right? Because you're talking about a guy who's going to come off the edge with size 6'3", 250.
Bro, he's like the second coming of Micah Parsons, bro.
Right. And to think about the impact
of Micah Parsons. So I would love to see that. And then next year get Micah Parsons to play next to him. Because it's only a matter of fucking time. Mike is going to be an Eagle. You fucking know he's going to be an Eagle.
Oh,
imagine Chop and him next to each other. Fucking game over. Fuck. Dude, I just won from, 6 to 12. Let's go. Come on. We're chopping wood here, Don. Thinking about this fucking linebacking core. Let's go.
Listen, I love it. The other kid that's getting a little buzz, right, is the Great White Hope, Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean. Right, got it. Great White Hope.
The only white defensive end or defensive back that has to kind of reiterate how much of a defensive back he is, because
fucking Jason Sehorn 2.0.
They all want to stick him at safety, and he's like, listen, I'm a corner, I'm a cover corner. He wants to play corner. He's another guy that I think when you talk about building that defensive backfield, to get a young, athletic, fast guy that could make plays in space. He's a guy that they could target. And it could be a position where they say, like, it's securing slot corner, right? What you get, because what you're going to get out of Avonte Maddox, that the health is going to only last him so long. So you could have a back, a guy that's going to back up that position. But you could also have a guy.
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing and crying over here at the same time, because it would be so fucking Howie to draft the only white cornerback in the draft. It would be so fucking Howie Roseman. It's like, oh, we neglected this position for fucking 30 years. Now we're drafting the white boy corner from Iowa. It makes me. God. It's such a fucking Howie thing. Like, dude, my eyes are swollen because I was crying when you were talking, because it was so funny in my head. I'm like, he's going to pick the white dude who plays defensive back from Iowa and just fucking make everybody go nuts. Oh, yeah. He's a beast, though. Listen, I would take him.
Yeah. The kid from Texas A&M, Edgerrin Cooper, is also a guy who's exciting to watch, a guy who's going to go sideline to sideline to play linebacker. It wouldn't surprise me if that's a pick that they address in the 50s. He's not going to last. I at least everything that I see, he's not going to last until like a third, fourth round. He's a guy who somebody's going to see the athleticism and value that. But when you talk about linebacker, you talk about Jeremiah Trotter Jr. He's in that same conversation in terms of a guy that they could target.
To be honest with you, I mean, if you're Stoutland's good, right? Like, Stoutland's good and can make anybody into anything. Like, you go get Chop, you go get Trotter, you try to get White Boy, like, as your three picks, right? You load up on your defense. Okay, and then you take offensive line, because Stoutland's the best in the business of getting these guys where they need to be. He will get these project dudes who are 6'5", 350 pounds and turn these dudes, and if they have the footwork, he can do it. He can make these guys into something good. I don't think it's we don't need the best fucking prospect in every single fucking draft at offensive line. We don't need that. Like, yeah, is it great to have? Sure. But why not fucking go out there and get those two guys who can help anchor the linebackers and the edge? Like, you have Williams on the edge, and then you have Trotter on the inside. It just makes your linebackers that much better, and that's what you're going to need. You're going to need blitzing, athletic linebackers who could fucking cover or just go to their assignments. Like, why not take your shot at these guys and then just say, hey, Stoutland, give me like 4 dudes that you like, and let's see who you can get. Kool-Aid, McKinstry?
I'm going to give you a guy with the coolest fucking name in the draft.
Dude, I want Kool-Aid.
Right?
That is awesome.
Right. You're talking about a guy who's got good length, good pedigree coming from Alabama.
His game is reminiscent of James Bradbury's. Nope. I don't want him.
Nope.
That's a poor choice of words. That's a poor choice of words.
But it wouldn't with the age that they know that they have with, Slay and Bradbury. I think that's obviously that's something that would be a position that they would address.
Yeah. And you know what?
Nate Wiggins
from Alabama haven't been too bad.
No, and Nate Wiggins from Clemson is another guy. Quinion Mitchell from Toledo is another guy. They're all guys that have really, really good athleticism. And
what about Farmer? Farmer McClucky. Bring him on. Bring him in. Bring him in. Let him be our slot receiver. Bring him in.
Oh, I love it.
Fuck it. Why not? Why not?
Oh, Rich. Any other? So we'll do a deep dive at some point. We'll get into some of your sleepers, guys that you're looking at late in the draft, guys that could be impact guys. I think that's where you're going to see them address offensive line again. I think that's absolutely a place where the one thing I'm going to try to do some deep diving on some international guys. If we're talking about, I know that there's some guys that are part of that international program. See if we can find the next, Jordan Mailata, because when we talked about a couple shows ago, when we talked about his extension, how wild, a draft journey that was. When you talk about, picking him as a guy who's never played football in his life. When I still remember the highlights, the rugby highlights that they were showing at the draft, where he's literally just got the ball just running over people.
That was
and to see how Stoutland just like slowly but surely, right? He's got the pick and the axe, and he's carving away at that thing, and he's turned that shit into fucking Michelangelo.
Yeah. I'm surprised Mailata said, I want to play running back.
I'm surprised that they haven't
put
it, in all of their bags of trick plays, that they haven't had the opportunity to put to do like a tackle eligible, where they just let them run the ball or put them on the tush push.
A tackle eligible sweep.
Oh God.
Let's go. Oh, I love it.
That would be incredible.
That would
be incredible.
Howie's going to be drafting an international fucking corner from China. Dude from Beijing stands in about 5'6", 140 pounds. It's something Howie would do just to piss everybody off. That's such troll moves. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Oh, that's great.
It's going to be fun.
All right. Let's go off topic here.
Okay.
What are you watching? Give me something that you're watching and something that you're listening to.
I'm back watching Letterkenny again for the second time through, and it is so fucking funny. If you're not watching Letterkenny or you're not watching Shoresy, you're just missing out on just fun comedy, good old Canadian fun. So Letterkenny is where it's at. Find it on Hulu, same as Shoresy. Both just fun shows that are just fucking off the wall goofy, but it's good. And listening, dude, I haven't listened. Honestly, nothing. If I could choose to not listen to the radio, I'm not. It's pretty much the same shit that I've been listening to. everything from the early 2000s or late 90s, early 2000s, and that's pretty much it. Nothing has changed in my
I
car.
got you.
I can't. There's just nothing. I haven't heard like one good rock album, rap album, anything come out lately that's like, hey, I have to like get down and like look at this. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna keep my same stupid ass fucking 50 songs playing in a row because whatever.
Hey, listen, if it ain't broke, right, don't fix it.
It broke, but Letterkenny, and that's pretty much it. Like I haven't really sat down and watched a show. But Cabinets of Curiosity was a fun one if you're like into like spooky stories. Guillermo del Toro, like a critically acclaimed monster maker.
Okay.
He put that show together. It's pretty fun. All different ideas and shit, and different monsters in each little short story. So that's fun. And I know the wife is watching Ratchet right now, which I think is just the dumbest fucking show. I hate every minute of it.
What is it?
It's basically take the cast of American Horror Story, throw them into Netflix, and she's a nurse back like when psychotherapy and all that shit was like just starting. So it's like, they're lobotomies and stuff like that, but it's long story short, one of the patients is her brother. She tries to like she wants to get him out. The doctor is all fuck. It's just done. It's dumb. It's very convoluted and stupid. And that's why it didn't get renewed for a second season. Because if this shit came out for another season and I had to watch another 8 episodes, like before I'm going to bed, I would jump out the window. It's that bad. Like the acting is atrocious. What about you, Dom? What are you watching or listening?
So, believe it or not, Rich, when this series came out, I never touched it. I'm on the 3rd season of Sopranos.
Yeah, The Sopranos is fucking classic, bro.
It's really good, man.
It's fucking gabagool.
To see the character arcs, to see how the dynamic of it all. It's really, really good. And I watch it, I'll watch it in the morning while I'm working out, and I just I'll get through like an episode ish. It's really well done. And it's funny because you can kind of see it was made right in the early 2000s, and to see how much has changed in just those last 20 years, it is kind of wild to see, that everything looks old, and it's weird to see that, like, you're talking about a show that's 20 years old, but to look at how how it was filmed, how it was shot, but the storylines, the characters, all that stuff, all holds up. And it's really, really good. I'm really enjoying it. And it's a show that I just, for whatever reason, I just missed. I just never got into. But yeah, it's that I'm watching that in the mornings. And then last Wednesday, the family, we went down to see AJR at the first. It was, I'll tell you what, Rich, it was a really, really, really good show. Really good. It's a lot of poppy stuff, but it's really
bang, bang. Yes. Yeah, that song. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So they this was their first indoor stadium concert ever. They had only ever done like
oh, nice,
like concert, like they've done like concert venues, like they've done the Man, they've done the Electric Factory, they've done some smaller places. The concert that we went to last week was the first indoor stadium that they've done. It was the largest venue that they've ever played.
Oh, that's cool.
But they put on a really, really good show. They played for over 2 hours, and just really like had Lacey and I out of our seats, which was
that's really cool.
It was just it was fun, and what I'll say is, like, what we've been trying to do as the kids are starting to get older is try to do more of the experience gifts, which is, really cool. Cause this was, this was a gift that we gave to both of them for their birthdays. So like trying to do those, like the familial
awesome.
things. Like, we've got, Lacey and I are going to go see James Taylor at the end of the summer.
Oh, okay. A little Fire and Rain.
Yeah, we're gonna go see Nora Jones. That's one of Lacey's favorites. Lacey's gonna take Jane and her friend to go see Hosier.
Hosier. Take me to church. A good one. That's a good one.
that was like a bucket list thing for Jane. She was like, she's like that's her favorite. So like trying to think
Hosier's
about
awesome.
those more experience things. And then we just told him a couple of days ago, but like we're gonna go see Elf the musical in December. So just just trying to look for those like experience things to go and do, because like there's only so much stuff that you can get. The things that you get, the experiences, that's the stuff you're gonna look back and remember it. So
fucking A, Cotton. Fucking A. No, it's true.
That's what I got.
Yeah, it's true, bro.
Final thoughts, Rich.
Final thoughts. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oof. Oh man, I quit vaping. So that's fun. Extremely hard. Day 4 consistently. Day 4. Yeah, dude, it's fucking rough. Nicotine withdrawal is no joke. I don't know what the fuck they put in those things, but goddamn. But I mean, I've been an off and on smoker for like since I was like 13. So oh man, but shit's never easy. So anybody going through it, I understand. Yeah, it sucks. But final thoughts. Opening day, bro. Tomorrow for Ollie's novice team. So we're going to be out there. Parade. Got our first game at 12. And
nice. What's the squad?
The squad's looking good. Got my boy Ollie. Got Big Tom, Antonio, and Declan. They're going to be riding in. Big Killian.
Nice.
Malaysia. Connor, my first baseman, kid's a monster. Hits fucking piss missiles, and he's like 6, and he's like 5'10". Dude, this kid walked up and he like had an ID. He's like, I am 12. I'm like, bro, you got to be 6. And he's like, oh, cross it out. I am 6. And I was like, yeah, man, you're in. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. What the fuck?
That's great.
He literally walked out the practice. I'm like, dude, you lost. And he goes, I'm Connor. And it was more like, I'm Connor. And I'm like, bro, stop. I'm like, you're not.
Daddy.
Hi, this is my dad. My name is Connor. I am 6 years old. Dude, I'm throwing to him. He's like using like a 31-30 and just hitting home runs. I'm like, God. But nah, he's a good kid. He's one of my first baseman. He's the only one who can like really catch consistently on my team.
That's awesome.
And then my boy Cairo to round us out. So it's a fun squad. Looking forward to it. Practices have been absolute chaos. So the game probably be the same. But yeah, get involved. If your kids want to play sports, encourage them. If they don't, encourage them in other things. They don't have to just play sports. As long as they're active in like some community function and just having fun and just getting the experiences of meeting different people from all walks of life. And it'll make them appreciate shit a little bit more. Especially, I love watching Ollie, and I like the way he looks at his teammates who might be hitting the ball harder than him or throwing the ball harder or just more accurately and doing things right. It makes him want to compete a little bit more than when it's just me and him doing the individual stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's cool. So, final thoughts, get involved, have some fun, and life's a garden. Dig it.
Yeah. Listen, I couldn't agree with you more, Rich, in terms of like the get involved piece. I know Kip started doing jiu-jitsu. Right. Started doing something that was like completely non-traditional. Jane's doing theater. Whatever it is, you're only going to get out of stuff what you put into it. But my final thoughts, Rich, shout out to Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley, coach, South Philadelphia born and bred, right? Grew up on 25th and Diamond, right? Went to Dobbins with Hank Gathers and Bo Kimball and but she she has become wildly impressive to watch. They completed their 38-0, squad, won the national championship. I think she's like something like 90-3 in like the last, 3 seasons. The only loss last year was the loss in the semifinals to Iowa. Like she's just the only one loss in the last 2 years. Like she's just doing an incredible job at building a program. But the thing that caught me was the quote that she had after the game where she's talking about, she's like, you got to let young people be who they are. You got to guide them and navigate them through the world. When young people lock in and they have a belief and trust, when their parents believe and trust them, this is what can happen. Like, stop trying to put the square pegs in the round holes and let the kids be the kids and try to help them and meet them where they are. Goes a long way. And what you'll see is that you'll get they'll get the idea that you're invested in them. And when they know that you're invested in them, then they become invested in you. And then it becomes a mutual partnership. And it's just it's really cool to see what she's built in terms of her program, but more to see that she's building that program on the investment that she's making in the kids, and she's making in the kids and their families. And you're seeing players that want to gravitate towards that and want to play. It's just really, really cool to see. And the bonus is that, we can also be proud of her because, she's a Philly native too.
Philly born and raised, baby. Let's go.
That's right, Rich. Take us home.
Let's go. Well, we've come to the part in the show where we have to bid you all adieu. I'm Rich. That's Don. We are drunk on broad. And I don't know. Are we doing you a bitch? Are we doing
you? Well, listen, we can hand out you a bitch.
Well, you a bitch. That's my favorite one. Kelly Oubre. You a bitch. You a bitch. You a bitch. Let's go. Shohei Ohtani. We're just going to do it of the week. I don't even want to do it like over around.
There we go.
Shohei Ohtani. Your boy not know when he's stealing all that money from you. You a bitch. But actually, you probably did know because you were probably placing those $19,000 or 19,000 bets in 3 years. You a bitch. Stop fucking making your man take the fall for you. Angel Hernandez. Angel Hernandez. You blind motherfucker. You a bitch. You a bitch. You ruined it. You single-handedly ruined baseball. Like, you a bitch. I can't even stand you.
Whoever designed the City Connect jerseys for the Phillies.
Yeah. Michael Rubin, you a bitch. Because the fucking Fanatics jerseys are just fucking terrible. I can get a Temu jersey that looks way better than the fucking shit that the Fanatics are putting out right now. Fucking $150. Go on Temu, they're $6 and they'll give you a coupon. Shout out to the people across seas making our jerseys. Appreciate you.
God.
And let's see who else is a bitch. Deshaun Watson, you're still always a bitch. Fuck you. And the Cowboys. Oh no, it's fuck the Cowboys. And Spike Eskin, you a bitch too. But yeah, we're drunk on broad. I'm Rich. That's Don. Right this way, because I got to go this way. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you next week. We love you. Peace, Philly. And as always, go Birds!
Go Birds!
Go Birds.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
E-A-G-L-E-S!